Hi, I'm Brett Middleton, and in the next 5 or 10 minutes I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of the MY11 Subaru STi. Now you'll notice I omit the word Impreza, and that's because in this current range of models, Subaru in Australia, and I assume around the world, have deleted the Impreza model name out of the STi model description for this car. In the past it's always been Subaru Impreza WRX STi, because the STi was a high performance version of the WRX. WRX was the improved version of the main model range of the Impreza, of course made by Subaru. Notably in the release of this car they've deleted the Impreza one and obviously just now gone for a more focused model description to obviously lift the STi range a little bit further away from the Impreza based model. I'm going to take you for a drive, give you some tips and feedback, and tell you what I think about this car. Now this particular car is the sedan model. It's the Spec R. Now the Spec R is the upgraded option model where you can choose the Recaro seats. You can get it with or without Recaro seats, but it does come with sat-nav, factory fitted sunroof, BBS, 18-inch wheels. The main model, when compared to the previous MY10, remembering MY10, 09 and 08 were effectively all the same as each other, is not that much different now. But of course the big thing with this model that Subaru has obviously really done, and I have to say I like it, is it's got that more aggressive look to it now. It's got obviously the option now to get it as a sedan version, or as they prefer to call it, the Widebody. Obviously a lot of people in the past wanted a sedan version when they moved away from it. That obviously cost Subaru globally some sales. Now they've brought it back and it looks pretty tough. I think it's got a good looking appearance. It's a nice car to look at from the outside. Drive conditions from my position, getting in the car and just driving it around town here near MRT Performance, the suspension, as you'd expect in a car like this, is quite stiff, but it's not uncomfortable. Probably similar in a lot of ways to our Evo 10. But one of the big things that Subaru have done in this particular model compared to the previous one in both the sedan and the hatch model is they've dramatically increased the rear suspension stiffness, shock ratio, spring and sway bar rates to make the car obviously dramatically handle a lot more. Now those were one of the main things that we used to obviously improve quite dramatically with the upgrade using suspension components when we're fitting them to the modified cars, particularly using white line parts. And of course now that Subaru have increased the rate, it gives us an opportunity to further lift the performance of this car even better. One of the other big things that the car has done from a suspension point of view, which is almost ironic in a lot of ways, is for many years Whiteline have promoted a component called the anti-lift kit. Now that was a bush kit that replaced the lower front inner control arms at the back, where it bolts up to the floor underneath your feet, with a stiffer bush that both changed the position and increased the rating of the bush to stop it moving around under high load conditions, because the general bush fitted factory standard, when you're pushing the car through corners or accelerating or braking hard, deflected a lot, meaning the front tyres would change wheel alignment quite dramatically. Subaru now have replaced on the STi models that bush with a Heim joint / pillow joint mechanism, which virtually reduces any deflection under load. And in a lot of ways that's similar to the motorsport version that we offer as a Whiteline upgraded part, and also in its anti-lift kit application changes the dynamic position of the rear of the control arm to change the anti-squat, anti-lift of the car when you're accelerating and braking heavily. Now I don't know what the dynamic position of this front end is now, but I do know that the bush, which has been replaced by this pillow ball joint, is one of the things that Subaru made a fairly big thing about in the launch of the car. And I know from a handling point of view, just driving it, the car is a lot sharper in its steering and you can feel it in the front end of the car. A lot of things in this video I'm going to talk about are just really what's specifically different on this model. One of the things that is different, which is interesting, because we've already done the XB kit upgrade on this car with the MRT power kit, the ECU file is now different to the previous model, but you would expect that because Subaru are constantly updating their data technology in the ECUs. That's one of the things that obviously we're lucky with the Ecutech software, we can retune the factory ECU so quickly. They've already released an update for this model through Ecutech in the UK at head office.
The advantage is, of course, it comes with a factory fitted electronic center diff controller, which is displayed on the LCD display on the dash. Again, pretty much the same as the previous model. Most of the time when I'm driving a car like this, I will leave it in auto mode. I won't change the center diff because unless I'm in really slippery conditions, or I want to try something a bit different to see the way the car handles, it's pretty hard to beat the factory standard settings. The center air conditioning, from what I can remember, is pretty much the same as the previous model as well. Center console here with the time, the ambient temperature, the litres per 100k indicated digitally on the dash, I think is a good thing, and the factory fitted sat nav, which on the Spec R model is obviously factory standard, but on the non-Spec R model is an option. The seats I like quite a lot. I'm not sure yet whether you've got to press OK when you use the satellite mode on this particular car from a sort of a safety point of view, which was always one of my big pet hates on previous model Subarus and other models like Turbo Territory Ford and things like that. But overall, this car is certainly going to provide Subaru an opportunity to improve its growth in the future. The XB and XA power kits that we offer for this car have a more refined drivability. The big thing is also has the improvement in the SI drive. The factory standard SI drive does not change the peak power at all. All it does is simply change the rate at which the throttle opens. The big advantage when we do the upgraded power kits, both XA and XB, is this whole center control is reprogrammed, and which will actually then give you a noticeable improvement in the way the car performs between normal, sport and sport sharp mode. The diffs in this car are pretty similar to the previous models, and of course the main difference between this model and the WRX is 6-speed transmission, brakes and level of performance out of the engine, remembering that the WRX engine is different to the STi engine in a lot of ways, but when you look at it from the outside it's not visually obvious. Of course the intercooler is one of the most obvious things, but other things are not quite so clear. So there you have it, that's the MY11 Subaru STi based on the Impreza model range. Obviously this is the sedan model available in the hatch. For more technical information you can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Flickr. I encourage you to make some comments on our videos. Pick up the phone, send us an email. We're here to help you no matter what your technical requirements are on Subaru, Mitsubishi or Mazda. And no matter where you are in the world, we certainly look forward to helping you with more information like this. For now, I'm Brent Middleton. Thanks for watching.